So something entertaining happened last night.
And that's 500.
There we go. I I promise I'll get better at this. Okay, I'll try to get better at this. But yeah, so last night I ended up recording when I hit the 500 mark, the 500 subscriber mark. I mean, there's 500 of you guys floating around that are interested in what I'm doing, and it's exciting, honestly. I know it doesn't sound like I'm excited, but that's mostly just nerves, honestly. I'm extremely excited, and I'd like to know what you guys are interested to see from me. So I got a list of games that I've got on my wish list. Obviously, that's not the only thing I'm concerned about, but I've got a pretty decent sized list of games that are similar to the stuff that I do and some things that are kind of not, but they're still games that I'm interested in that I think you guys would be interested in. So there's Tunic. I haven't played it. I haven't seen gameplay of it for the most part. I've heard the general premise is it's a Souls like where it doesn't tell you what to do and you have to figure it out via there's like a pages to a game manual inside the game, but it's all written in this made up language in the game. But it's a Souls like. It's like Souls like mixed with Legend of Zelda. So that's one game that might be interesting, and I'm considering trying it. Let me know if you're interested in it. Sekiro. Sekiro is kind of obvious. It's
He's gonna break that.
what's the best way to put it? So the other Souls likes, they all come kind of roll around some kind of general playstyle theme, and they're all the ones that I'm talking about. The Dark Souls, Demon Souls, those both fall under the same umbrella of gameplay mechanics. Elden Ring falls under that.
Don't know how long that's gonna work for.
Bloodborne is more of like the dodge and aggression game. There is the only shields in the game are not usable. So Sekiro is in that same vein. It's a new way of playing the Souls likes made by FromSoft, and in this case, Sekiro functions as a parry game. You poise break and you parry. That's as far as I know about it. I've not actually played through it, so that might be one that might be entertaining if you're interested in that. Final Fantasy VII, the remake. And honestly, the reason I'd want to do that, I don't know if it has any real Souls mechanics.
Right.
The reason I'd be interested in that is because one of the first games that I remember getting really excited and interested about, so much so my dad had to constantly tell me to stop fidgeting. One of the games that I was interested in was Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time were like the two biggest ones when I was real little, like just getting into school, elementary school. I was in like first or second grade at best. So those were good. But there's a remake for Final Fantasy VII. I saw it on Steam. So if you're interested in seeing that, comment about it. Say what you want. Metal Hellsinger is another one I'm interested in, and I think you guys might be interested in too. It's apparently think Doom, but turn Doom into a rhythm game. God of War and God of War Ragnarok, Souls likes. They could be interesting. Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. I think that would be entertaining because I am very good at making dumb things happen. Final Fantasy 11. A reason for that, the reason I'm thinking of that is because I've got 14 on my channel already. Not much, but I do play 14 occasionally. And Final Fantasy 11 came before it, but I didn't really get into it. And it might be interesting to revisit it, just to check it out. Even if it doesn't become like a mainstay of the channel, it might be interesting to like see it. See what it looked like, what Final Fantasy 14 looked like before it became what it is now. Because you can't play the original Final Fantasy 14 because the current version of Final Fantasy XIV is called Realm Reborn because they actually ended the game and restarted it because the original version was nigh on unplayable. I actually bought a copy and couldn't play it. I couldn't even make my account. I couldn't get on to the game. So when a Realm Reborn came out, I was able to play that. Biomutant, that's another one. That one is it's hard to explain, but it's a Souls-like. It's a Souls-like that wasn't made by FromSoft, but it's definitely a Souls-like. Bully Scholarship Edition. The reason I'm interested in that is because of nostalgia. That was a great game, and it's very endearing, in my opinion, because it's like, think Grand Theft Auto, but you play as a kid in high school. And you deal with people trying to bully you, and occasionally you, if you decide to do it, you bully people. But the endearing part about that, in my opinion, is the actual story to it. Because you play as a kid named Jimmy Hopkins who shows up at a school, and it's called Bullsworth Academy. And I will not forget that because of how endearing this game was to me. So, if you're interested in Bully,
Oh no, it's in there.
let me know. Cyberpunk 2077, that's another one. Reason for Cyberpunk is, well, honestly, it's just a really good game. And it's hard to not like Keanu Reeves. Monster Hunter World. I've got Rise, and I didn't really care for it as much as World, just because World felt so much more immersive. But if you're interested in World, it's got similar mechanics to Souls-likes, in that it's an action RPG, really. That's the main thing.
I knew he was in there, but
I know that.
didn't think he would be.
I understand Souls-likes. They're not exactly action RPGs. It's like an overgeneralization of them, but you get what I mean. I'm also thinking Nioh 2. Nioh 2 is actually a really good... I don't know if you'd call it a Souls-like, but it's basically a Souls-like. I don't know if you've noticed, but Souls-likes and me get along pretty well. Remnant from the Ashes. That's actually where I met Kel. And that's another one.
Hold your nose. Yeah.
Souls-like, obviously, but with guns. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And Dead by Daylight and then Conan Exiles are the other two that I'm thinking of. Or I've got a passion for Yu-Gi-Oh! And trading card games in general, so I have been playing with Connor on Magic the Gathering as well. So I've got a couple of games that I can play of those if you're interested in seeing those. Just post up in the comments down below whatever you're interested in seeing. And if it's not on the list, tell me about it. I'd love to hear from you. And again, I appreciate all of you guys for subscribing. And yeah, just I hope I'm doing something right. I guess I'm doing something right because you're all here. So yeah, talk to you later.